Hi and welcome. I'm glad to have everybody here and give everybody a few minutes to jump in. But I am today going to talk about a budget for your business and the importance of why you should have a business. Really just a high-level overview of sort of how to break out a budget. So before I get started, my name is Elena Tercero and I am a CPA. I live in New Mexico and am have my own business, really help small businesses and helping them get started on the right foot, or if you've already have your business, then how to just keep going in that momentum in regards to the accounting side of your business. We all, as entrepreneurs, really love to build our businesses and generate that income for us, but then at the end of the year, really start to stress out about how much taxes we're going to owe, and we don't want to do that. We don't want to put ourselves in that sort of a situation. So today, hi, Camelia, it's good to see you. My sister is joining us live on Periscope. So I do, thank you, Retro Boutiques, for inviting followers. If you do want to follow with or share with your followers, please click on the little guy down below, swipe and share with your followers. You can share with the followers here on Periscope or your followers on Twitter. Stas, I saw you come in a little while ago. Good to see you. Is this, looks like Bev is in also. Good to see you, ladies. These two ladies are my, what we used to call Twitty group buddies on Twitter. So when we were studying for the CPA exam together, that's no small feat. It was really hard, but we all band together on Twitter to help encourage and inspire each other to keep going. So I'm really, really glad that you guys are here. Thank you for joining me. And I am going to talk just high level about budget. So income. All of us as entrepreneurs bring our income into our business in many different ways. So I'm not really going to talk about how we bring it in because it's going to be different for everybody. But always remember that you want to make sure that you're anticipating the money that you're going to bring in and you're projecting that money and really make sure that you take a step back and figure out if you're going to bring in let's say $1,000 in revenue, then what does that mean over a 4-week period? That means you're going to be bringing in $250 a week. And then by day, what does that mean? What goals do you have to hit to make sure that you bring in whatever that money, that revenue income projection is for you? So once you have that set and you know how much money you want to make, you want to make sure that you set up your expense side correctly. So that way, at the end of the month, you're not trying to figure out how you're going to pay for certain expenses. You want to make sure that everything is covered up front. So I kind of broke this out in percentages. So you want to make sure that you're saving 10% for taxes. You don't know if you're going as a small business, if you're not paying, if you're not required at this point to pay estimated taxes, you're not really going to know whether you're going to need to pay taxes. And everybody is different because your personal situation comes into play if you own a small business and you're set up as a single member LLC, or if you're set up as just a sole proprietor. And even S-Corps, if you're set up in those ways, or if you have a partnership, if you're set up in those ways, all of your personal information comes into play because you're taxed as an individual and not as like corporations. Like corporations are taxed differently. So if you're married, if you have kids, if you pay a mortgage, all of those come into play at the end of the year for your taxes. So you don't really know how much you're going to need to pay. So I always encourage all of my clients to save 10% of their income for taxes, for strictly taxes. Now, the other thing that I suggest that people do is to put 20% away for savings. So that way, if you don't hit your projections, then you will have that money put aside just in case. So I'm seeing a whole bunch of people coming in and out. I just want to make sure you guys are here. Sometimes with Periscope, we've got connection issues. All right, just want to make sure I didn't lose anybody. I see some hearts coming up, so I know that you guys are still there. Awesome. So 20% for savings. Now, what I personally do, and I encourage other people to do, is to tithe. So of that 20% of savings, 10% of it, I tithe to, I particularly tithe to my church. But, you know, if you have a church that you go to, you can tithe to them. If you want to give to nonprofits, wherever God leads you to give that money. That's personally something that I do, and I, as a business strategy, I do as well. Now, that 10% that you're giving to what I call tithe is not deductible from your business, but from your personal taxes, it is deductible. And that's a whole other topic on how much of it can be deductible, and so I'll have to get into that into another Periscope, talking specifically about personal deductions. But do keep in mind that sometimes it can be used as a business deduction, but I like to just move it over to personal because it's just better that way. You're not setting up red flags to the IRS. So those are separate. They're deductible to nonprofits, to church. You kind of want to keep those separate. Now, paying yourself, is, to me, considered an expense. Hey, Jen, good to see you here. Thank you for joining us. To me, it is an expense, because when you're paying yourself, you're taking a certain amount of money that you've brought into the business and you're moving it to you individually. So I suggest to take 35% out. And so I had talked about on another Periscope, if you've been following along, to set up your own business account, a banking account, checking account, and all of your business expenses and income go into that one account. So that money that you're giving yourself, that 35%, you're going to move it away. You're going to put it into your personal account so you can buy or purchase whatever you need to for personal needs. Don't keep them intermingled. Keep them separate. It makes it much, much easier for you to keep those two separate. Not only that, but you'll know exactly which your business deductions are because they're only in one account. Same thing with personal expenses. You keep them separate, and it just makes it look that much more like a business, especially when you're first starting out. You don't want to commingle that together. And then once you build that habit, then it's built and it's there for you. So most of the time, again, if you're a S Corp, an LLC, a partnership, or you're just a sole proprietor, you're not going to have to pay yourself. C Corp, S Corp is slightly different. So LLC, partnership, sole proprietorship, you do not need to pay yourself as if you're an employee. You can just take that money and put it away or move it into your personal. S Corp, though, is different. You do need to pay yourself as if you are a W-2 employee because the IRS does look at you differently. So that will be on another Periscope episode that I will talk specifically about S corporations, why you want to have them, when you want to have it, and different things that go along with that. One being in particular is paying yourself as a W-2 as an employee. So that's a little twist on that, but it's really not that big of a deal. Now, the other 35% of the income that you're bringing in would be for your normal everyday business expenses, marketing, advertising, if you've got websites that are up, if you've got health insurance, Jen, there is sometimes a lot to learn and it can feel overwhelming sometimes. And so hopefully giving it to you in sort of bite-sized pieces like this is helping. And, right now, especially if you're just starting out, just start out as a sole proprietor. Build these habits, build this information in, and then as you grow, then you can change the type of business that you own, and you can, the information, you can grow with the information, just like anything else. We don't know anything at the beginning when we first start something, but we know we want to do it, and you just continue to build upon what it is that you want and you know. So the expenses, 35% from that revenue that you generated into expenses. So yes, just starting now, switching from self-employed to a business. We will connect soon. I know that you had sent me a message and it didn't go through. My husband is actually working on my website contact form right now. He's been sending me emails back and forth, so I know he's working on it, and I tested mine out too and it didn't work. So we'll get that squared away. You can, if you do need to contact me, my email address is alena@littlelightaccounting.com. You can, that's the best way to get a hold of me if you need to email me. So business expenses, again, going back to that, the different types of business expenses that you're going to have. If you're going to have contractors to help you with your business, those are deductible. If you're going to have, if you need a cell phone for your business, that's deductible. And I'll go through a lot of the expenses as well in upcoming Periscopes, just so that way each one is hit on differently, and it kind of gets its own topics. That way you're not feverishly writing down notes trying to remember everything that I talk about. I'll bring them all in little by little. And I do have on my website actually a free PDF that has 3 business tips, tax tips that you can use. And you can sign up for the emails. And I do have other emails that are going out. So we're talking about social media. We're talking about building a business that's geared around you and who you are, because people will follow you in your business because of who you are, not necessarily what you do. So that's really important, that when you're doing that, especially if you work for a brand, that you aren't that brand, you are you. I mean, just like me, myself, I'm building my CPA firm, Little Light Accounting, but that's not who I am. So I need to be able to differentiate for people that that's a part of me, but not who I am. So it's really important for everybody to understand that as well. So if you want to go to, let's see if I can get this in here. My firm name is Little Light Accounting, and you can go to bit.ly/LLA tax tips. So I'll give you just a few minutes. If you want to screenshot this, you can. But I've got 3 tax tips in there that you can download. And like I said, I'm sending out other emails as well, just going forward, so that way you continually get information. Thanks, Sass. I just really want to help people as much as possible, especially business owners, to be able to feel confident in enough of their business skills that they can continue to build their business, because most of the times businesses fail because that side, the business side, the accounting side, the part that I love, is never looked at and it's not paid attention to. And then 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the line, they're like, okay, now what? I'm paying way too much in taxes, or I don't even know how to do the taxes. I don't even know if I'm doing this right. I don't want that to happen to people. I want people to feel confident and comfortable and have somebody in their corner to be able to go to when they need help. So that is the premise for me building my accounting firm. So I'll just recap who I am again, just for people that are, if you've just joined. My name is Elena Tercero, and I am a CPA. Out of New Mexico, I do own an accounting firm, Little Light Accounting. I am a wife. I married my high school sweetheart. We've been married for 16 years now. We've got 4 kids, and so I really wanted to be able to build this business so that I can work from home and also help business owners at the same time. So I really, really appreciate you joining the Periscope conversation. If you do have any questions, give you guys a few minutes to kind of go over what we talked about. Nicole, I just saw that you joined. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. I did talk today about a budget and why it's so important for a business owner. And I am on catch.me/Elena Tercero if you want to watch the rebroadcast. It'll be on Periscope for 24 hours. So if you want to go back and watch it there. But all my other Periscopes are also over on catch.me/Elena Tercero, and it's KATCH.me. So I really appreciate you joining. I am going to talk about, in my next Periscope, I'm going to talk about equipment and what types of equipment are deductible. I went over that a little bit before, but I'll do another recap of it. I did also talk about equipment being deductible, either fully deductible or deductible over a period of time. So I'll go through those as well. I do appreciate you joining. If you don't mind, if you did find value in this episode, please feel free to share with your Twitter followers or those that you follow on Periscope. And thank you for the hearts. I really do appreciate it. That does help me know that I am giving you valuable content and that you're engaged and understanding what I am speaking about. So I really do appreciate those as well. And I will be back tomorrow to talk more about business. Oh, good. I'm really glad, Retro Boutiques, that it was very helpful for you. And if you do have any questions, anybody else, if you have questions and maybe, typing it out here can take a little while. If you do have questions, shoot me an email. I am also on Facebook and Twitter, same handle. So if you need to find me pretty much on any social media, Elena Tercero is where I am. I am building my ElenaTercero.com website back up again. I haven't used it in almost 4 years. It was my blog during my CPA exam days. So most of that, it talks completely about the CPA exam and the fun journey that was. So I'm going to start updating that blog. I've got links also to my Little Light Accounting website. It's under construction. You can find out some information. You can't contact me right now through there because the link is broken. So we're working on that website particularly. So, feel free to reach out to me if you need any help or have any questions, and I will talk to everybody tomorrow. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it.